2 hours left. Archangel Michael says, I order you to open it quickly. Don't tell anyone, it's only for you. They're setting up a meeting to discuss your removal of. Open it quickly. The night had settled like a heavy curtain, swallowing the edges of your world in a darkness thick enough to suffocate hope. Behind closed doors and sealed windows, a gathering was taking place, a secret assembly whose whispers clawed at the fabric of your life. The moon trembled behind torn clouds as unseen eyes watched, and shadows stretched long, crawling over the faces of those who dared conspire against you. This was no ordinary meeting. It was a council of betrayal, an unholy pact forged in silence and sealed by selfish ambition. Your name was spoken softly but with venom, like a curse carried on a chilling breeze that slipped through cracks and crept into your home. They discussed your removal, your absence from the places you once claimed, the destruction of the foundation you painstakingly built. Blood ties and old promises were shattered beneath the weight of greed and fear. The very ones you thought would stand beside you now conspired to push you into oblivion. The air thickened with dread as their plans grew darker, more certain. But in the midst of this storm, a silent watcher remained, a celestial presence standing guard beyond mortal sight. Archangel Michael's gaze burned like a celestial flame, piercing through the veil of deceit. He moved unseen among the shadows, gathering the scattered fragments of truth, preparing for the hour that approached. God says this night is pivotal, the balance hangs on a razor's edge. The meeting you did not know was happening will determine your fate, but divine intervention is stirring. You are not alone. God says your enemies walk in daylight but stumble in the shadow of heavenly justice. The plans made in hushed tones will unravel, like threads pulled by a hand unseen yet certain. You must stay awake, alert, for time slips away with a thief's swiftness. Archangel Michael commands vigilance. Your moment to act approaches like the thunder that heralds the storm. This message is not mere warning, it is a call to awaken the warrior within, to rise beyond fear. Outside, the night deepens, the wind carrying the echo of celestial drums beating in the distance. The meeting is set to conclude soon, the verdict to be sealed. But the heavens stir with a power that no earthly force can contain. Your protection is woven in the breath between the stars, and your deliverance rides on wings that no man can tame. This secret council may believe they hold the key, but God says your destiny is guarded by a covenant older than time. Type Amen to receive this divine protection. The air shifted, heavy with urgency, as Archangel Michael's voice thundered through the unseen realms, breaking the silence that cloaked your peril. It was not a gentle whisper but a command, a decree delivered with the authority of heaven itself. Time was shrinking, hours collapsing into moments. Open it quickly, he ordered, the urgency carved deep into the fabric of the message. This was no ordinary call. It was an awakening cry to brace your spirit, to prepare for the unseen battle that raged beyond human eyes. You feel the weight of unseen wings beating rapidly, stirring the cosmic winds that wrap around your soul like a shield. The very stars flicker as if reacting to the divine summons, their light pulsing in rhythm with Micheal's call. God says this hour is the pivot, a threshold between destruction and salvation. What men plot in shadow, angels counter in brilliance. The meeting to remove you is only the first act in a grander design that unfolds in the heavens. Micheal's voice commands clarity and strength, cutting through the fog of doubt that seeks to cloud your mind. Do not hesitate, he says, his tone fierce yet filled with a fierce love. The enemy believes you are vulnerable, that your strength has waned. But they fail to see the power awakened within you by the touch of the divine. You are chosen, guarded by forces ancient and unstoppable. This warning comes with a promise: the darkest night precedes the dawn, and your dawn is near. Behind the veil, armies of light marshal their forces, preparing to confront the shadows that seek to consume you. The earth trembles faintly beneath this unseen clash, the ground itself sensing the weight of spiritual warfare. You stand at the edge of a battle not fought with swords or guns, but with faith and divine decree. Archangel Micheal leads this charge, his sword blazing with heavenly fire, cutting through the chains meant to bind you. God says those who gather against you will soon face a reckoning they never imagined. Their counsel will dissolve like mist under the rising sun. The divine command has been issued: no power of darkness can prevail against the protection granted to you by the Most High. Listen closely, this is your moment to hold fast and rise. The clock ticks down, and Micheal's urgency is your beacon in the gathering storm. Type Amen to align your spirit with this divine command. Beneath the surface of familiar smiles and hollow words, a betrayal festers, dark and venomous as a serpent coiled in the grass. The one you trusted most, whose presence once brought comfort, has twisted loyalty into a dagger aimed at your heart. Their betrayal is not sudden but slow, a creeping poison that seeps through your life unnoticed until the damage is near irreparable. They have joined the shadowed gathering, their intentions sealed in silence, their actions hidden behind a mask of false devotion. The moon, half concealed by jagged clouds, witnesses this treachery, its pale light casting eerie reflections on broken promises. God says this betrayal is more than a personal wound, it is a test crafted by divine wisdom to purify and strengthen your spirit. The pain you feel now is the fire that will forge your resilience. The enemy's strategy is to isolate you, to sever the bonds that give you power, but Archangel Micheal stands ready to expose every falsehood and shatter every deception. You feel the weight of this revelation press down like a storm before the flood. The trust you placed in this person was a fortress, now breached from within. But God says that no fortress built on lies can withstand the power of truth revealed by divine light. Archangel Micheal's sword will cut through this darkness, illuminating the hidden places where shadows hide. Your circle may have cracked, but your foundation remains unshaken, rooted in the eternal covenant that no mortal betrayal can undo. This betrayal carries consequences far beyond what the conspirators imagine. The divine order shifts in response, realigning to protect you even as the enemy tightens its grip. The meeting to discuss your removal will not proceed unchallenged. Forces beyond their comprehension mobilize, ready to defend what heaven has decreed as yours. God says this season of treachery will end with justice, and your enemies will regret the day they underestimated the power watching over you. Type Amen to invoke protection against betrayal. Beyond mortal sight, a sacred tribunal convenes, draped in the radiant light of eternity, where decisions about your destiny are weighed with solemn gravity. The divine court assembles amid swirling clouds of celestial fire, its pillars carved from stars and ancient wisdom. Here, no earthly plot or whispered secret escapes judgment. Every scheme against you is laid bare beneath the unblinking gaze of heaven, where justice is swift and uncompromising. Archangel Micheal stands at the forefront, his armor gleaming with the brilliance of dawn, his voice a clarion call that echoes through the cosmos. God says this court is not a place of fear but of truth, where your worth is recognized beyond the shadows cast by your foes. The meeting to remove you pales in significance compared to this divine assembly, where eternal decrees override transient mortal plans. The fate that seemed uncertain now shifts toward victory ordained from above. The air is thick with tension, the clash of unseen energies rippling through the heavens like the roar of distant thunder. Your heart, heavy with the weight of earthly struggles, feels a strange calm, a quiet assurance born from the knowledge that divine justice cannot be thwarted. Archangel Michael's sword pulses with holy fire, severing the chains of false accusations and lifting your name high among the stars. This is the hour when your true legacy is inscribed in the book of life. God says that no conspiracy, no secret meeting, no shadowed counsel can overturn what heaven has decreed. The divine court's decision is final, a beacon of hope piercing through the darkest night. As the judgment is pronounced, the forces arrayed against you begin to unravel, their power waning like a fading storm. Your protection is no longer just a promise but a tangible shield forged in the fires of celestial authority. Type Amen to receive divine vindication. The clock's hands inch relentlessly toward the final moment, each tick a drumbeat echoing in the chambers of your soul. Outside, the night sky fractures as stars burst into radiant light, announcing the arrival of a power greater than any scheme hatched in darkness. Archangel Micheal descends like a tempest of flame and thunder, his presence a sword of justice and mercy intertwined. The meeting set to erase your name from their books will never come to pass. God says this is the hour of reckoning, where earthly betrayal meets heavenly intervention. The enemies who plotted your downfall now face the overwhelming force of divine deliverance. Their voices falter, their shadows retreat, as the light of truth and protection surrounds you. You stand at the crossroads of fate, poised between destruction and salvation, carried by wings unseen but felt in the very air you breathe. The storm around you rages but cannot break the fortress built by God's own hand. Archangel Michael's sword cleaves through the lies and deception, his voice a thunderous command that shakes the foundations of the secret council. The conspirators crumble under the weight of divine justice, exposed and powerless. God says your removal has been denied, your place secured by promises older than time itself. This deliverance is not only protection but a proclamation: you are chosen, guarded, and destined for triumph despite the darkest plots. As dawn creeps over the horizon, bathing the world in soft golden light, a peace settles over your spirit. The battle has been fierce, but victory belongs to those who stand with faith unwavering. Archangel Michael remains by your side, a sentinel of light ready to defend against future storms. God says hold fast to this moment, for it marks a new beginning, a turning point written in the stars and etched in the hearts of angels. Type Amen to seal your divine deliverance.